Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Let's Play Elden Ring. We're at the Three Sisters today to start off. I'm beginning to think that Liurnia is our most revisited location so far, even putting aside how many times that I've had to come back here to respec. We are heading up Rena's Rise today, the northernmost tower. Which only recently, quote-unquote, became accessible to us since progressing Ranni's quest a while back, actually. So before we finish our ascent up the tower, halfway up there's a chest containing Ranni's Snow Witch garb. Or rather, I think the garb of an old crone who mentored her? Witch's robe in the color of snow that she was inspired by. Once worn by the snowy crone who the young Ranni encountered deep in the woods. She was a witch and well-versed in cold sorceries. It is said that the doll that houses Ranni's soul was modeled after her. That old witch was Ranni's secret mentor. Virgin style associated with practitioners of heretical sorcery strengthens cold sorceries. And then, of course, the other major thing that has become active since progressing Ranni's questline, getting her the Fingerslayer Blade, and then her slumber and her departure, this waygate became active. The waygate to the Ainsel River main. And a miniature Ranni. Another doll. Resembling Ranni the Witch from head to toe, every detail is perfect. This unresponsive doll seems pleasantly cool. From toe to tip, that's a Ranni. That right there, that's a Ranni. Mini Ranni on sale now. They would make a diabolical amount of money selling those. And despite being unresponsive, we can talk to the miniature Ranni. At first, doesn't respond. At second glance, doesn't respond. Third time around.
Oh, a dogged fellow, aren't we? Or is it merely thy habit to talk to dolls? Fine. Fine. I hadn't expected any soul to recognize me in this guise. But now the cat is out the bag. I cannot allow thee thy freedoms. Perform for me a service as recompense. Eliminate the baleful shadows which prowl these lands. The name of Ranni the Witch is already sullied by thee. I will not brook disobedience in this matter. Perform for me, eliminate the name of Ranni. I will not.
Okay, she will not brook disobedience. And we've already besmirched her honor just with our presence once. Okay, Queen Ranni. We are going to get to following her command momentarily. Hopefully she doesn't take this little pit stop we have to make on the way to as a sign of disobedience. While we encounter another one of these malformed stars. We're gonna have to dash from that cover way off to the side, way off to the edge of this area. Because right by the waterfall, right before the drop, behind the clay golems, are Clayman ashes. And then this will allow us to just kind of take the side route away, skirt up behind him, sidle up the wall, and we'll be relatively safe this whole time. Then from back here, we can just safely pick him off, take pot shots, and hide behind all of the bountiful cover here. We can even, if we really want, give him a little poke, and you get to see the eye, that blue oculus in the middle of their forehead. Also seen that on the full-grown falling star beasts, so there's a life cycle here. And I'm being, harassed. Oh, and I forgot they have the rolls too. Now I'm being harassed with bubbles. Jeez. There's an extraterrestrial parasite that's conjuring meteors by the dozens and just psychically tossing them at me. My most pressing concern right now are the 7-foot-tall claymen blowing bubbles at me. They're throwing a non-trivial wrench in this. Okay. And we'll just go in for a greedy final Ash of War Spear Call ritual. And does that gain us very much? No. It merely affords us the ability to move through here and to revisit this area without being constantly harassed with meteors. That's about it, though. If you really want, you can just walk straight past him. If it sucks, hit the bricks. Just walk away. Oh, yeah, okay. And what visit with a malformed star is complete without a horrifying ant nest located next to the prettiest city you'll ever find underground? Because this gets us around to, you recognize this architecture by now. This is Eternal City architecture, but not Nokron. Nokstella. A sister city to Nokron. There were actually 3 Eternal Cities. We've heard about that third one, but it's unnamed and was destroyed a very long time ago. So next up, I think am I going back to the ant pit yet, or is that... No, okay, I know where I'm going. I should be heading back around topside with this ladder. Okay, good. I do know roughly what I'm doing. Again, we have the ants. We have this one with the big shield plating. And then this spills us out topside. But not to where we just were, somewhere where we were previously. But this was otherwise inaccessible to us at the time. On this, we should just be able to follow the cliff. Hug it over here on the right, and then just loop around. And you see that chest over there. That is the main point of interest for coming up here. And it will contain a pretty cool new weapon. As for this should be probably a somber smithing stone if I had to guess. That's not memorization. You just get a feel for it after a bit. They're probably going to put, like a smithing stone here. They're probably going to put some real garbage here. They're probably going to put a shard of glintstone here. But here they place a wing of Estelle. Estelle being the name of those malformed stars. Or at least the name of one of them. Well, we'll elaborate on that in a bit. It will become clear. But also, was I wrong? Because I thought this was the area with the merchant. Unless that's one floor down. Yeah. Yeah. just have to figure out... Oh, there it is. How to get down. Yeah, and that should get us to the merchant that we met way earlier. Hey, here we are.
Well, divorce...
Is there anything from you that I did not purchase the first time we met? Not really, no. Okay, so... we gonna sell? Sword fashioned from a delicate wing suffused with the magic of the stars. Strong attacks unleash a wave of enchanted light. Crafted from a relic of the natural born of the void who is said to have assailed the Eternal City. Specifically, I think that's the nameless Eternal City that he destroyed. And speaking of Eternal Cities, we'll backtrack back to Nokstella and progress through this little sub-zone. We'll also get to try out a bunch of new Ashes of War, too. Oh, hello. A nimble? Can you dodge all of this? The answer was no, but it would have been a bad idea to keep trading with it. Oh, and the very first item that we get upon progressing into Nokstella is an ant skullplate shield. Huge head of one of the giant ants which inhabit the 2 underground rivers, used without modification as a shield. Excels at repelling enemy attacks. And it boosts immunity. Cool. There are a lot of really fun shield designs in Elden Ring. They just got weird with it. I appreciate that. And then I think it's finally time to bust this out. The Ash of War from the Lightning Rams. Oh, that's so fun. That doesn't seem horrible either. It's a lot of hits done. What? Oh, that leaves a lot to be desired. I was really hoping to just clear them out with that. Ooh, no thank you. Ghost Glubwort Picker's Bellberry. 2. You don't want to get trapped in this room? That's a lot of them. But they are not very aggressive and not very fast. So you can just give them the old runaround. If it sucks, hit the bricks. Eternal philosophy. Oh yeah, I don't think I ever mentioned this, but since we have the Alexander Talisman now that massively boosts Ash of War damage, my new build for the next few episodes is just going to be Ash of War focused. I just picked out a grab bag of weapons, upgraded all of them off screen, and then started throwing fun Ashes of War on all of them. And that's most of what I'll be using for the next stretch of the game. Gorgeous false night sky. Ah! There's so many incredible landscapes that that aren't common to fantasy games that you get to see in this. And then, of course, you always have to pay tribute to the classics. He even gives the goat roar. Oh, and Night Maiden and Swordstress puppets. These sisters, members of a cold-blooded race who wield flowing weapons, became puppets of their own volition. These puppets were made in the Eternal City. Fallen Hawks, band of soldiers that once explored the Eternal City. Band of the Fallen Hawks, huh? Artist Stagger, Warp remains a priest who searched for revelation in the service of the ancient dynasty. They employ 2 sorceries, produce smaller and larger bubbles. Oh, the Bubble Men. I should upgrade that Spirit Ash. just play with that a little bit sometime. Maybe they could supplement the bubble build now that they murdered the Envoy's horn. Oh, yeah! My favorite enemy, Big Ball. Big Ball is back. It's good that we finish off now. You have to be cautious lest it take the stealthy approach and sneak up on us. Would I call that my favorite enemy? It's obviously not my favorite, but I genuinely do really love it. Another one. This one really does try to sneak up on you. It made such a strong and funny first impression on me that I'll always associate it with that. And every time I see one try to slow creep up to me, just pure joy. Like we're playing red light, green light. It's such a strange and unexpected thing. I just really enjoy that someone said, yeah, we've all seen 1,000 rolling boulder traps before. What if the boulder was alive? It also sometimes thinks it's Solid Snake, and other times it's the truck from every isekai. It's delightful. And also because it's so strange, it contributes to this place feeling pretty alien. You feel very out of place here. And that's not the whole reason, but it contributes. Another thing that really tickles me about it is these games are just brimming with these incredible, macabre, awe-inspiring, unique monster designs. Like, some of the most creative and interesting monsters I have ever seen. And that's truly one of my favorite parts about these games. But then, there's also Orb. Big Orb. Okay. And then, do we have another one in here? Look, yeah, I think that's on the ceiling. Oh no, I think it's a whole glob of them. Like hoplites. Yeah! Okay, now this will clear a room. Damn, Spear Call Ritual is good. Yeah, that's an Ashvor I really like. Aw, no ball. I wanted to meet the Las Vegas Sphere again. I'm such a big fan. Oh, it is! It is the Las Vegas Sphere! It's here! It's finally here! It's come to the Eternal City of Noxtella! And of course, another larval tier is always good to have to fund our respec habit. Not sure exactly how many I've been through at this point, but I think we're hitting double digits. And if we haven't already, we definitely will. I just wonder there would be something around. Now, in this room, we can summon Spirit Ashes, because there is quite a bit going on here. And these two immediately turn into Silver Ears, or Mimic Ears. Where are my rats? There's one. They're all waiting at the doorway. Are they vampires? Are they vampire rats? Do they need an invitation inside? buddies. Buddies! Little buddies! Little dudes! It's okay, you can go in. Okay, we'll just sit outside and give them moral support. These ones found their way inside, okay? Oh, now they're going after him. Get her, get her. Go, my rats. No! My rats! I'll never forgive her. Welcome to the jam. Oh my god, those two rats are at the big space jam in the sky now. Oh, I'm having a wonderful time being back. This legendary talisman is a treasure of Nokstella, the Eternal City. Increases memory slots. This talisman represents the lost black moon. The moon of Nokstella was the guide of countless stars. The black moon, and increases memory slots. That's because the memory shards are fragments of that lost dark moon. And they also give you more attunement slots. So I think we should probably consider the Nox a little bit more. And what that might mean. So what we know from... Let's start with, like, armor sets and the sorceries. There are 3 Eternal Cities, right? Nokron, Nokstella, and the Nameless one that we know it was destroyed by Estelle. Or assailed by Estelle. These inhabitants and these cities and their inhabitants, the Nox, were originally located above ground. They did something treasonous, something blasphemous that incensed the Greater Will so badly that they were banished underground, and the city was somehow also buried or otherwise relocated. I say buried, but like there's precedence for massive chunks of landmass moving in this world, being relocated by other means. So who knows? But one way or another, the city was above ground, and now it's not. And we can see down into that, the ancient Dragonkin soldier arena. That was a product of their experimentation. So, they live under a simulacrum of a night sky down here, because they were originally star worshippers, and that was one extra wound in the back of their banishment is the object of their worship, of their religious practices, was taken from them, essentially. The holy night sky. Also, I think it might be important to note that Roger called the Black Knife Assassins scions of the Eternal City, and I think that's a very purposeful phrasing given how much plant theming we have in the game. We also know the Fingerslayer Blade is said to be a symbol of their downfall, right? And it was proof... Actually, is this... I might hold off on this, because I think we're about to get more Ranni. Yes! Because she might actually say some relevant things to this.
Let us speak of the past a while. I was once an Empyrean, of the demigods. Only I, Nicola, and Melania could claim that title. Each of us was chosen by our own 2 fingers, as a candidate to succeed Queen Marika, to become the new god of the coming age, which is when I received Blythe, in the form of a vassal tailored for an Empyrean. But I would not acquiesce to the 2 fingers. I stole the rule of death, slew mine own Empyrean flesh, casting it away. I would not be controlled by that thing. The Two Fingers and I have been cursing each other ever since, and the baleful shadows are their assassins. Even when I turned my back upon the Two Fingers, Blythe remained my loyal ally. Though he was created a vassal for Imperium, he was a colossal failure on the part of the Two Fingers, Blythe and E.G. both. Art willing to give too much to me, yet they both understand what lieth beyond the dark path, that I must betray everything and rid the world of what came before. Should I add thee to the list? Another one, kind of heart. As kind of heart as they. This form hath loosened my tongue. I've let slip too much. Forget what thou'st heard. Forget.
Forget! Do it! I do not brook disobedience. Forget! It's not like I said you're a valuable member of the team or anything. Forget! So Blythe is to Ranni what Maliketh is to Marika, her shadow, her loyal servant. And I am supposing that baleful shadows are like inverses of that. Because just ahead, as we will see, this baleful shadow takes the form of Blythe.
Thou art the last. Tell the Two Fingers that Ranni the Witch cometh to rend thy flesh with a fateful will, ne'er to heal.
Yeah, let's go, Ranni! Main character Ranni. Can you guess which ending I'm going for? I mean, I'll show all of them, but there's one that I am going for that I prefer.
Beautifully fought. My thanks. 'Twas more of a challenge than I envisioned. Now I can finally stand before them. This is farewell, my dear. Tell Blythe and E.G. I love them.
Discarded palace key. Not the first time she has said goodbye to us and attempted to go the rest of the way alone. A key discarded by Lunar Princess Ranni alongside her very flesh. Opens a treasure chest passed down to Carian princesses. It's said to be found in the Grand Library of Raya Lucaria with her mother Rennala. Yeah! So remember that locked chest in Rennala's boss room we first ran into like 35 episodes ago or something? Well, now we have the key for that. And we'll get to that. But first... welcome to the Lake of Rot. Poison swamps. We love them, don't we, folks? This is the big one. And of course, this is all Scarlet Rot. Just when you thought we couldn't possibly fit another swamp into the game, Miyazaki says, no, watch this. Also, apparently I lied last time I said it was the last map fragment in the game. I forgot there was one for the Lake of Rot, too. There is probably another one. There is so much stuff in this game. And for this, Flame Cleanse Me is going to be my best friend. You can min-max charms and armor for a higher immunity stat so you resist being afflicted so easily. But I don't actually find that that's necessary because there are all of these small islands littered around and these pressure plates that raise platforms up. So you can just walk safely around. Just go one island at a time Be methodical about it, raise one platform at a time, and cleanse as needed. Also, if you just happen to have a good stockpile of boluses, even better. Save yourself the mana. Being particular and methodical about raising these, one in particular is vital. Because we can see that there is a form way out there in the middle of the Lake of Rot. That's another one of the ancient Dragonkin soldiers, and for now it's inert, but once we get close, it'll become a boss fight. And as you can see, if you just fight it right now, it's gonna be a real nightmare. You will have to contend with the Scarlet Rot the whole entire time. But there is one pressure plate that raises a ring of platforms that gives you a pretty good surface area to fight on. I don't know how I got jump scared by that one. It's not a hard fight, it's just a headache if you're trying to fight him and the Rot at the same time. And this lone ancestral follower out here roaming around is really interesting. We usually only see them around areas like where we fought the regal ancestral spirits and like the ruins of old. And there are some of those bearded statues around here that you find in those ruins as well, so there is a connection. The other interesting thing about this is something that I saw in yet another Zully the Witch video, Zully the hero of this playthrough, providing so much interesting insights. That ancestral follower was not here when the game first launched. There were a bunch of other ones deeper in, near the end of the Lake of Rot, that were replaced as well. So that one wasn't there. There were a bunch of other ones, though. And they were replaced by something else, and this one was added in their place. Now for the Dragonkin soldier. This is why we take the time to raise this. Ooh. Yeah, that's gonna hit him a lot. He has such a big hurt box. Ooh, that uppercut reached? That's, that bloodletting... is it the bloodletting beast? It's that punch from the Chalice Demon boss in Bloodborne. Oh, how did that whiff? I guess his stomach is hollow. Oh, he dropped the elbow on me! Uh-oh. Oh, I just noticed I came into this really low. Low on flasks. Ooh, I'm not terribly socked. The nice thing about this is I might be able to... Nope, never mind. The nice thing about this, I was going to say, is that there is a Stake America nearby. So round 2 is mercifully... you're not as strapped for resources due to having to circumnavigate whatever circle of hell this is. So just buff up again. Maybe I want to bring a few small friends in. We have fought this boss before. This boss type. I think it would be fun to harass him with a bird. ring ring. And then we'll just spam him down with spear ball rituals. Until he gets up close. And even then... What the fuck? No way. What the hell was that? Shame. Shame, Dragonkin Soldier. That man said, okay, I killed the Tarnished once. That's good enough for me. He'll have to live with that forever. I can die happy. What was that about? He could have saved me like 2 minutes time and just done that the first time. Well, okay. Let's go back to talking about Ranni and the Nox. Oh, man. So Ranni gave us a pretty clear explanation of what she did and the form that she takes. And it parallels completely to Godwyn. Godwyn's soul was killed, but his body lives on. Ranni casts her mortal body off, but her soul remains intact. And she can evidently jump between these vessels, these dolls. Which, yeah, come to think of it, that must be why she kept Saluvis around. Here, just roll into the alabaster. Oh, he doesn't stagger from it, but this did low profile. It does cause some hits to low profile. That's very powerful. I wonder how many... I'm getting an idea for a challenge run. But I'm also thinking, like, how many boss attacks in the entire game can you make whiff with that? Dragon soldiers never attained immortality, perished as decrepit, pale imitations of their skyborn kin. Forged from blue-white meteoric ore, blade conceals gravity, manipulating magic. Weapon unique to the Alabaster Lords, a race of ancients with skin of stone who were said to have risen to life when a meteor struck long ago. We also know the Alabaster Lords to be the ones who taught Radahn gravity magic. Oh, I remembered the specific thing I wanted to talk about, though. It was after we got the Moon of Noxtella talisman. The Black Moon. So remember we got... I think this was on screen. We got a sorcery called Eternal Darkness. And I believe we got that in Celia, in Caelid. And what the spell does is open something like a small black hole. And the description says that it's a lost sorcery of the Eternal City, though apparently not that lost, and that it ultimately brought ruin to the city. What I wonder about is, they lost the Black Moon because they were banished underground, right? But then that means they lost access to all of the moons in the land between, right? Of which I think there are at least 2 others. But then the description only specifies the Dark Moon, and we don't ever actually see a Dark Moon, so was it literal, or was the moon itself taken or lost somehow as like an independent event from them being banished underground? I'm not sure if there's a clear explanation, or if I'm just not clear on it. I do wonder if maybe they tried to create a new Dark Moon, though. The same way that they tried to create a Lord of Night, and perhaps they made... What they made was not a Dark Moon, but some kind of void. A portal, maybe. Or maybe the Dark Moon they worshipped was that already, like essentially a wormhole. A void through which things can pass. Now, we are almost done with the Lake of Rot. We have a couple of more things to get around the outer edges, but I think for the most part, we are now just doing cleanup before we head inside. And then we're kind of going to get a few more answers. Answers relevant to what we were just talking about. Especially with the fall of the nameless Eternal City and the Nox. Because they are deeply intertwined with Ronnie's story. Now, we have one jump that's not dangerous, but if I miss it, it will be annoying to go back and try again. So I don't want to. Didn't want to. And for our efforts, we are rewarded with the Mushroom Crown, which gives you a damage bonus every time Scarlet Rot procs while you're wearing it. So we've essentially looped all the way back around to the beginning of the Lake of Rot. But now, since we have all of these platforms raised up, it's not nearly as resource intensive to just walk through from one side to the other. Still end up getting afflicted, but that's hard to avoid either way. You can take a longer way around, which you'll suffer even less from this, but this is just a more direct path, and there is a grace coming up in like 50 feet. So either way, it's not too big a deal. Now we get to head into the inner cloister, where this becomes a kind of temple. A temple to what, though? Or who? Oh yeah, but it's putrid. It's raw all the way down. It's flowing into everything. It's feeding into this basin down here. All of the waters of the temple are polluted with it. There's a stream of it that waterfalls even further down. Nothing that is not adapted to the rot is going to live here for time. For all time. Adapted to the rot, like the pests. They're back! Yeah, we couldn't have a big scarlet rot zone without more of these. Oh, that's a really fun one. Quite strong, too. It's got the Rune of Death effect on it, so shaves max HP off, does percentage damage on top of its base damage. And that's also, of course, all of that's being buffed by the Jar Talisman. So we can just come through here and deliver destined death to the creatures of Rot. And right outside the waterfall, we recognize this tremor. Another one. Another tree spirit. Some enemies, they repeat just enough to where you don't get sick of them. And some of them, you just get really sick of. Okay. And all of that for a golden seed that we do not need anymore. Just for the sake of completeness. And in addition to these random assortment of pests out here, there's a more organized group, a large group, near the front praying. These are the enemies, by the way, that I alluded to earlier. They were not in the original launch version of the game. These were all ancestral followers. And that lone one out in the swamp was not there. Look at my hawk go. Every time I bring the hawk out, I'm proud of him. I can't always say that for my summons. They let me down sometimes. Ooh. No, no. No way are you getting spicy with me. Now we get to see what they were worshipping. Kind of. They weren't worshipping the scorpion stinger, but if we read the description, it'll shed some light. Dagger fashioned from a great scorpion's tail, glistening with scarlet rot. A ceremonial tool used by heretics, crafted from the relic of a sealed outer god. Another one. Another outer god. Was the wellspring for all scarlet rot. You know, it's beginning to feel an awful lot like we are very small beings in a large, cruel universe, virtually powerless to steer our own fates, due to the machinations of uncaring, unnoticing beings that just can't stop destroying the world and the people in it. And their pervasive influence acts like some kind of pervasive barrier constraining thought and action. As a humble tarnished, it's easier for me to imagine the end of the world than it is to imagine the end of the outer gods. Whoa, whoa, whoa! What? No, what? Why did that happen to me? Why did that happen? Why? What was that? I'm a little annoyed with that. The camera just flicked really violently when I turned the corner. Ugh. I bet that's due to the meddling of a sealed outer god. This must be... This must be the work of an enemy outer god. God, I'm being assailed by outer gods again. Deliver me from this place. I will not break my stride. I'm simply going to get into my coffin and go to my vacation home. Away, my chariot. Go, my steed. So thankfully it's not polluted down here at all. Also, this looks an awful lot like the areas right before you go into the boss rooms to fight regal ancestral spirits. And an interesting fact about this upcoming boss in the room, there is evidently some code that links it to an ancestral spirit boss. So they were considering having you fight one here instead of what we actually end up fighting at one point in development. Again, the source for that is one of Zillie's wonderful videos. But yeah, as for the boss itself, Astel, natural born of the void, under that same false sky that hangs over the eternal cities. And this is familiar to us, but not entirely. We've seen the immature versions of this, of Astel. Ooh, so pretty. And it straddles the line, but I think it comes out on the side of the... Oh yeah, that's the grab. Oopsie. I wasn't watching carefully enough. This might be bad. Ooh, that's the other one. Okay. Oh, there's a follow-up. Oh, that just gives us more time to admire the beauty of this boss. So this is the final stage of the life cycle of those malformed stars. And of course the Falling Star Beast in the full-grown versions. You can see the eye, that blue oculus in the skull. That really, really creepy through line between all the different forms. That's, I think, the first version of the Falling Star Beast. Also, I believe one of the sorcerers, Azure. I need to look at that helmet again to see if there's actually like a visual similarity there. Because I do think there's a connection between like the primeval current and the void that they're talking about here, and the stars and the cosmos. I think this is interconnected. Whew. Knew he went somewhere to charge up the laser, so I just started rolling ahead of time. And the big difference between Astel here and the malformed stars, like aside from the moveset, color, oh my god, all the gorgeous colors. The opalescent beads that kind of make up its thorax. It's the same model. It's the same model as the malformed stars. Oh, and the eye glows when it charges that up. The difference is the malformed stars outside are all desaturated. This one is full color though. And now, its big desperation attack, the meteors. Luckily, Astel, not too hard. Kind of a break for us, really. And an intermission before the really hard fights start back up. This one, I think, is a lot about spectacle and story action. I think this, I really just think this boss design is mesmerizingly beautiful. And it's funny because, I think I was saying before, it rides that line between being... Oh. Yeah, a lot of those just went far astray. Like, it rides that line between being repulsive, creepy, and just gorgeous, but I think it's... Yeah, it's the latter overall. Especially if I just ignore the really nasty, spindly hands. I don't like those. Skybox here. And the fight itself is just kind of a light show, so just a nice little visual treat. When I mentioned earlier that it may not have originally been the plan for you to fight Estelle here, but instead one of the ancestral regal spirits, it seems like Estelle was originally supposed to crash into Radahn's arena and either be fought there or be part of Radahn's fight. But we'll now grab this Lost Grace. You can see there is a barrier ahead of us. We have a few stops to make before we can come back here. First, we're going to go back to the Round Table Hold and read that item description. Alright, first let's take this to Enya. Check those descriptions out. A malformed star born in the lightless void far away, once destroyed an eternal city and took away their sky. A falling star of ill omen. So that eternal darkness, void, dark moon thing, portal theory that I had, is the lightless void through which he came and destroyed the eternal city, that's what I'm getting at? Is it that? A flail which deals magic damage and can be imbued with power by remembrance of Estelle, formed by the same many-colored star debris that comprise the form of the natural born of the void. Magic affinity, waves of darkness, plunge armament into the ground. Aw, no lore on this one. That's a shame. We've been deprived. And now we've returned to the Academy of Raya Lucaria's Grand Library to finally use that key and open this chest, which will get us the Dark Moon Ring, which will open the seal in Estelle's room. Ring depicting a leaden full moon. Symbolic of a cold oath, the ring is supposed to be given by Lunar Princess Ranni to her consort. Ranni is an Empyrean, meaning her consort would by rights earn the title of Lord. A warning is engraved within. Whoever thou mayest be, take not the ring from this place. The solitude beyond the night is better mine alone. She's always trying to go it alone. And while we're here, form a towering headpiece of mushrooms. Long ago, great lords served the scarlet rot. Perhaps such fungal bodies served as their crowns. Perfect. So now, back to Estelle's room and the seal. And while I'm here, yeah, I think we'll use the Envoy's Horn, since we can buff it twice over now, and maybe make it a little bit more usable. From the Ainsel River to the deep Ainsel River well, we emerge again in Liurnia. We have come full circle from the start of the episode. So up here is a cathedral called the Cathedral of Mana Celeste, where we will be heading right after we deal with a couple of, let's just call them trash mob dragons. Let's just call them what they are, trash mob dragons. At this point, we fought so many, and these are unnamed and just fodder. They're trash mobs. Oh, trash mob number 1 has traded to death with my bubbles. Oh, goody. It was guarding rocks. Now for number 2. Oh lord, a second one has joined and this has gotten dangerous all of a sudden. Never mind. Oh, I see. So this one's gimmick is that it's just going to be a giant pain in the ass to hit. Okay, I guess I'll just do this. I'm going to hit it like 2 times. It's going to fly away and really annoy me. I'll just come up to it. I was going to say I was going to hit it 2 times. It was going to fly away and annoy me, but yeah, that also works. You know what? Spear Call Ritual. Oh, that's a good response. It's become more inaccessible? Oh. Like, what? Okay, okay. At least now it will land somewhere reasonable. That's worse. Unless, hold on. No, come on. Oh, don't land up there again. Okay, then he didn't. Did he land somewhere? As far as bad places for dragons to land, this is okay. Honestly, this is pretty good. So of course he moves instantly. Yeah, there we are. We got 3 Dragon Hearts out of that. That's pretty good. And we no longer have to deal with annoyances around here. And now there's 0 chance of any of them showing up as ads. So we're going to get another Bubble Boy out here. It's going to be Bubble Boys all around. And right now we are just about directly over the village of the Albinaurics. So remember Glintstone Dragon Adula? You've seen this one before. This one I have a special grudge against. Because when we first got to the Three Sisters, the towers in Liurnia, this is the one that picked a fight with us and then ran away. Holy hell, look at this go. This is just a glimpse of the true power of the bubbles. Remember, they nerfed the bubbles really, really hard. This is the pre-massacre version. Now granted, there are 2 of us blowing bubbles at once. But still, I think this kind of, it's okay. You can get it up to being okay again. But it's just not what it was. Maybe it... No, I'm not going to fall for this propaganda. It didn't need a nerf. I was going to say maybe it was too strong. Who cares if it was? It affects nobody but me and my own enjoyment. At least it would be a really funny weapon being overpowered for once. Do you remember when Dark Souls 3 came out and the meta OP weapon for a little while at launch was just the S-Stock? That's just the S-Stock. That's all. So So there are 11 of these shards around here. I can't remember if I actually need these for something. I feel like there is, but I'm just not remembering what right now. I know you use Starlight Shards as currency for Saluvis's puppets, and I feel like there is something big I'm forgetting with them. Otherwise, they are just used to recharge your mana. Wait a minute. Oh, that was my shield breaking. That always gets me. Right. We'll figure that out later. For now, we will jump down. And who is under the Cathedral of Mana Celeste? Celestial Hand. It is Ranni. Next to her slain, blood-soaked 2 fingers, clearly rended with the Finger Slayer blade. You can see those really distinct wounds. Good for her. Good for her. Let's have a shotgun wedding.
So it was thee who would become my lord. Perhaps I needn't have warned thee. I am pleased, however. Thou art a fitting choice. I go now to the night sky. It is there I shall find mine order. I bid thee travel the path of the Lord, and once all is done, we shall see each other once more.
Hell yeah! Finally, she's saying that we will meet each other again, instead of saying that she is going to go it all alone. And as a wedding gift, we get this game's version of the Moonlight Greatsword, the Dark Moon Greatsword, with the Moonlight Blade as an Ash of War. Launches Cold Match Greatsword, launches Blade, Dula, Devourer of Sorcerers, was bested by Ranni and subsequently swore a knightly oath to her. As a moon Greatsword, bestowed by Carrion Queen upon her spouse to honor long-standing tradition. One of the legendary armaments, Ranni's sigil is a full moon, cold and leaden, and this sword is but a beam of its light. Oh, well. This has been an eventful day, and I am wiped out after that wedding. So, thank you all for watching. Take it easy. Have a good one, y'all. And also, if you're able to and you'd like to support the channel even more, you can head over to patreon.com and subscribe there. Thank you all so much.